Let's do a quick track talk through at Barber. First, the weather. Highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. It'll be comfortable during the day, but in the morning it will be cold, and the track and tires will be cold and won't have much grip. So keep that in mind if you're in first. Let everything warm up. All right. The track itself is kind of wide, and that gives us a few things to think about. One is runoff. Some of the turns, there's plenty more asphalt, which means if you get in too quick, you don't have to go to heroics to try and save it. You can extend your braking zone, you can widen your turn. Won't be a really great turn. We don't really want to do that, but it beats the alternative of a spin, contact, and off or something else by getting too heroic. The other thing with all that asphalt, it's going to confuse less experienced people on where the real line is. There's a whole lot of places that are paved that really aren't fast. So we're going to take advantage of that. The other thing is around passing. It's a great place for cooperative passing. There's plenty of places where you can be a car width or more off the apex and still run through a turn pretty quick. So if you've got someone next to you that's being cooperative and you want to pass them or they're going to pass you, there's places to do that. So let's get driving on track. Coming down the front straight into the first turn on the left. It's a pretty quick turn. You can brake pretty late in the braking zone. It is downhill, so keep that in mind to be gentle with the brake pedal, gentle with the steering, or you can upset the car because you're going to have less grip. Get into the turn. Now it does flatten out as you exit, so you'll get more grip. Now into turn 2 and 3. It's a big carousel, and your apex is all the way around the other side of it. So it's a very gradual winding your way in turn. Now it's so wide you can really enter almost anywhere and still be okay. If you're protecting your line, you can stay on the inside. If you're trying to pass somebody, you can arc around the outside. Ideally, about the best combination of distance and speed is about 2/3 off the right side for your entry. And what you really want to check is your speed coming in. You know you've got the right speed when the wheels and tires will accept input. If you're scrubbing, if you're pushing, you're too fast. All right, so as we go in, we're going to turn towards the apex. When the car responds and turns in, we've got it. Onto the throttle. Widen the wheel and track out. Now, as we track out, we're going to maintain a little bit of steering input because as you go up the hill, it's still got a little bit of a bend to it. And you want to enter still pointing down the track. Okay, now we can straighten it out. Go down this middle straight, and we're going to get to turn 5. Now, turn 5 you can brake way, way late for and dive bomb people. Don't do it. Turn 5 is much better to get slowed down and get on throttle early, and let's see why. So we'll go in here into the braking zone. You can see that curbing onto the right. As that ends, that kind of signals your turn-in point. You're going to turn into the curbing onto the left, and you can see all that asphalt off to the right. You just don't need to be there. It's not going to benefit you. A lot of people go there. I don't know why. Now that we're into the curbing on the right, we can start to unwind and lay on the throttle. We've got most of our turning done. So while they're still struggling to scrub and bring their car back to the apex, we're already back onto the throttle, unwound, and on down the track. It's way faster. You'll pass a lot of people there. All right, now to this little zigzag going down the hill onto the right. I like to brake early, get the car settled, and then turn in. You have to watch out, though, because you can brake a little later, and some idiot in a Grand Marquis is going to do that and try and dive bomb you. So you got to make a decision. One, do you want to brake a little later and get into the turn ahead of them because it's too busy. You don't want to be side by side here. Or let them go by, let them do it wrong, and you can exit faster and pass them on the exit. So something to think about with traffic here. You just don't want to set yourself up to be side by side going through here. All right, turn in to the right, and once you make that turn in, you really want to straighten the wheel and get on the brakes because you have a much tighter turn to the right coming out. So you kind of make a little straight of this going down the hill. And then into the right, back onto the gas, and you're good. It takes a little while to get the rhythm, go in slow the first few times. All right. Now the kink in the back straight. Really you want to get over to the left to set yourself up for a nice right-hand turn. kind of like doing a slalom where you get the cone ahead correct so the next cone's easier, right? And so here we go. I'm staring at the apex. I've got a nice wide arc, not a lot of steering input, and I can stay on the throttle. Widen the wheel and I'm good. That's the way to do it. All right, now this left-hander that goes down the hill. We want to get our braking and turning, or at least turn in, done before we get to the downhill slope. You won't have the grip to do it. You're going to slide wide. It's not going to work out. So while you're still flat, brake and turn in early. Then as you go downhill, you've got your turning done, and you're ready for the next turn. Now, this one you are going to want to brake and get over to the right. Now, there's a lot of curbing there. You can use it. So brake hard, get into the curbing on the right, back onto the throttle, and widen the wheel. All right. Now, this right-hander, basically just a little throttle lift or even a tap of the brakes will get you all the way into the apex and you can get back on the throttle. It's a pretty fast turn and the exit is uphill, so you can really go fast. Which you got to think about because your next two turns are interesting. This penultimate turn, the turn before the last here, you're really just, it's a decreasing radius and you're just scrubbing off speed and exiting slow. It feels very unrewarding, but you'll know if you did it right because you'll be in the right position for the next turn. So when we come up here, your two options, you can either kind of straighten the wheel like I'm doing here and get out to the left and use some brakes and then turn in. Or if traffic won't allow you to go wide here, you can hug the inside and just kind of get off the throttle. You may tap the brakes, but just be gentle because you don't have as big an arc to work with, all right? Now we turn in, we get into the curbing, and you know you did it right if you're lined up on the right side for the next turn, so you can take advantage of this turn, which is the last turn before a straight that you want to get right. So, turn to the left, hit the apex, unwind, full throttle, and down the straight nice and fast. That's a quick lap. What I'm going to do, pause here, rewind, switch to the car view, and we can just watch the car go around so you can kind of see the placement on track. Turn one, brake, fast left-hand turn, big carousel. Again, slow down to where the wheel accepts input, and then back on the throttle. You're going to maintain a little steering input going up the hill, so you come out in the straight, aimed down the straight. All right, turn 5. Get your speed down, get your turning done early, get into that apex, and get on the gas early. It pays off big. All right, to the downhill zigzag. Again, you don't want to wind up side by side, so manage your traffic, manage your speed so that doesn't happen. Get in, make a quick straight here, brake. Now you're ready for the right hand. All right, the back straight kink. Again, get yourself lined up so this right hand part of it, the exit, is nice and smooth, and you're good. All right, the left downhill turn. Again, braking and turn in while you're still flat and you've got grip. Then brake hard for the right-hander. Use all that curbing up the hill. Another right-hander, you can go pretty quick. And now be ready to decelerate, whether that's hugging the inside and off the gas or going wide, straightening the wheel and using the brakes. If you get back over to the right hand of the track, you did it right. You can make a nice left-hand turn and go way fast onto the straight. All right, that's a lap of Barber, and we'll see you at the track. Thanks.